Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show, home improvement and maintenance tips from the pros.
Welcome to the Handyman Pros Radio Show Action Edition, where we feature an actionable tip that you can use today. And I'm here with my old buddy, Larry. Larry, tell us, what have you, you know what, I know what you've been doing, but man, you've been really busy working on this big project. What's been going on over there?
Yeah, it's so I'm working with the Athens Handyman GA over in we're in actually Colbert, Georgia, of all places. It's a really cool little town, a little northeast, I guess, of Athens, Georgia, home of the Georgia Bulldogs. Go Dogs, right, as they say. But this week we finished probably like it was really exciting, I think. So they had a boat door. It was a garage door that was in their basement. We're changing this into a mother-in-law suite. So they have it's kind of...
And you left the boat in there?
We left the boat in there. That's right. Boom, boom. Anyway, this garage, was kind of cave-ish in there. You know, it's a basement, right? So there wasn't a lot of natural light. So we decided we were going to take the garage door out and we're going to put in some sliding glass doors and some transom windows and stuff. And I have to say, it really came out really, really well. I will put some pictures on our Facebook group, at Handyman Pros on Facebook, to show you how this door looks. And John, does that thing look like there was a garage door there?
No, it really came out. It's really nice. It really is nice. Very, very, very impressive.
Yeah, we're really excited about the outcome of it. So that's what's been going on. But John, so something happened. We got a call the other day from one of our customers, a different customer, and you tell the story because he called both of us. So it was the same thing. This is a guy.
And this is kind of timely. As we move into the spring and the summer, and checking your batteries. Matter of fact, checking your batteries in your devices. And I was going to say, Larry, matter of fact, I just walked by my thermostat 2 days ago, and what's it say on it in big letters? Low battery.
Low battery.
So we had a little show about it the other day. Our little tip, check the batteries. But one of the things that happened with this gentleman is that he was changing his the batteries in a chirping smoke detector. And sometimes these things can be a little bit tricky, okay, especially the older ones. And a lot of times that these smoke detectors are chained together through hard wiring. So when one goes off, they all go off. So if you got a big house, and something happens in your basement, all the way throughout the house, the smoke detectors are going off. So if one gets a low battery in it, they'll start to chirp, and then change all the batteries, right? So, but a lot of times it can be a little tricky where you have to reset these things, because even if you put new batteries in it, sometimes they continue to chirp. Now that can either be a bad smoke detector itself, but a lot of times it just needs to be reset. So the tip here is that when you do change the battery, if it's hardwired, take all the electricity out of that smoke detector, meaning that disconnect the actual wiring. It's got a little plug. You just pull the plug or turn the breaker off to these things, pull the battery out, and then hold the test button, because they have capacitors, and capacitors in this sense for that circuit is storing electricity, and you have to drain that. And then once that thing drains all the way out, then put the battery back in, plug it up, and then put it back. A lot of times they'll keep chirping, and this is one way to do it. And you got to do it in that sequence so they stop chirping.
Yeah, and that's a really good tip, because I've actually been out on service calls where that's been exactly the case. And you pull the smoke alarm down, and it's hardwired. And folks, how do you tell if it's hardwired? When you unscrew it from the mount and come down, and there's a wire hanging on the back that goes up in the ceiling. That's a hardwired unit, and it is literally, usually it's just a 3-pin plug, and you just pull it out, and that will take the power off of it. And I can't tell you how many times you've done that, and it still chirps. You take the battery out of it, and it still chirps, and you wait. And if you wait long enough, it'll chirp itself out. But like John says, if you hit that button, it'll fire itself off, and then it's done. So a capacitor too, just to let you know, if you don't know what a capacitor is, it's basically a small rechargeable battery, for lack of a better word. It's usually used just to get something started up, but it gives a little punch of power into the thing. And John, didn't in our customer's case, didn't it go serial? Didn't it go serial? Like, so he fixed one and then the next one started to chirp? Is that what happened?
Well, there was one in a hallway that was chirping. Took that one down, and then the one in his office started to chirp.
Yep.
So these things are kind of in series, from one to another, and they just start to, they're designed to do this. Now, the other thing is that if you got older ones, sometimes real old ones will have to be changed anyways. So there's a few things. So if you have these, the issue is that the symptom is that if they're chirping and you can't stop them from chirping, sometimes you have to buy new ones. Now, it's just that ability to drain that electricity out of that thing. Because I said in this case, the capacitors are used to store some extra electricity, from its power source, whether it's on the battery or whether it's hardwired in the sense. But that thing has to be reset and drained down. So there's a couple of tricks, and I remember when I put mine up is that it happened to me and I couldn't stop it, and it's really annoying. So I know a lot of people, pull your hair out trying to stop these things sometimes from doing that. It's bad enough when they go off for all the reasons, but just from that chirping, especially when it happens, starts to take off at about 2 a.m.
Oh, it's always at 2 o'clock in the morning. Everybody knows that. Or you're on vacation. You come home and your whole house is chirping.
Right.
But one other thing, just on your point about replacing units. So the smoke alarm companies will tell you that the average life, I believe, is around 10 years. So at 10 years old, you probably should replace them anyway. I know all the new ones have those 10-year batteries, and they're basically at that point they're saying throw it out. It's done. So if you have, you're right. You're right, Larry. And so, and the only reason I mention that is if you have really older ones, it might be time just to buck up and just get new ones. So, and how do you constitute how old they are? Well, number one, if you're marking on the batteries, when you put the batteries in, you'll have an idea. But the second point is if the plastic is looking yellow, might be time for a new one. Do you agree with that, John?
Yeah. You got to get rid of those things. So
it is your safety. It is your safety.
Right.
So. All right. Well, that sounds like a plan. Folks, don't forget to join our Facebook group at Handyman Pros. Join in the conversation. If you could, leave us a 5-star review on your player, either Apple or whomever. We're working on that, trying to get good. If you do have any questions or comments or concerns, go to questions@handymanprosradioshow.com and send us a voice or send us an email. There we go. Wow. We are on Twitter as well, Handyman Radio. John, anything else?
That's it.
We will see you all next week on the Handyman Pros Radio Show.